Going on 3 years, I've carefully studied the encounters of spirits at the Lamb House. During this long-term investigation, some of the encountered mysteries were solved. In this investigation, I look into 2 unsolved mysteries. 1, what causes these high energy levels within the house? 2, what's going on that would cause spirits to stake a claim on this house? Why is this house so important to some of these spirits? In the middle of this investigation, I encountered mind-boggling activity while using the Ovilus. This activity was so strange, I put my focus on the Ovilus. Can the spirits at the Lamb House use electronic device to communicate? They can, and they do. These spirits intelligently use this electronic device in a way that left me baffled. You guys have been talking about whose house this is. I'm going to try to understand what you guys are talking about and why it's important to you to talk to me and tell me whose house this belongs to. Obviously, there's something going on here that would cause you guys to either tell me or you're telling each other that this is your house. Whoa.
I heard that.
That was right behind my head. I hope you guys can talk with me about this so I can gain an understanding what you mean by this and why this house is important to you. Why do you guys say this is your house? What's going on? Does it have to do with the energy in here? I do believe the energy levels here at the Lamb House has a lot to do with this paranormal activity being so strong. There are times here in the Lamb House the EMF readings are extremely high. A year and a half ago I was doing a paranormal investigation in the dining room. During this investigation, the energy levels was off the charts. It's rare to see an EMF meter react this way. However, it's not uncommon here at the Lamb House. So I don't know if I really got anything off the spirit box. Somebody behind me? This thing is going off the charts right here. The meter thing is reading all the way up to max. Way past maximum. I mean, it's past the red on the indication, and it's like totally going crazy. The flashing light on the EMF meter reached a point it wasn't even blinking. The energy readings were so high, the light consistently stayed lit up. Now, one of the things that every person that's ever been to the Lamb House, that's a paranormal investigator, that has equipment, EMF meters, K2 meters, they've all noticed the high energy reading levels in this house. And this is something that nobody could really explain, why these energy level readings are so high. No matter what, you have EMF readings throughout this house that just never go away. I mean, here's a good example right here. I mean, I set these right here. It just doesn't stop. Now, question is, what's causing this? Now, there are, in fact, power lines outside across the street over here, right there. And there's power lines that come up above here. But what's really interesting, we've gone under there to power lines before to get readings to see if the power lines is causing this. And when we go over there across the street, there's no readings at all. The equipment doesn't even react. Okay, so I'm standing right under the power line here. We're getting a little bit of readings, but not enough to set this off. So that's about normal. And there's the lamb house right there. So I'm going to walk to the lamb house and let's just see when this will start going off. Yeah. Had to get across the street real quick. And there we go. Right when we're coming up towards the property, this is going off. So standing right under that power lines, you know, you think that standing that close you'd get a higher reading, but the power lines aren't causing this. Not only that, a couple years ago when we had a blackout, 20-mile radius, I mean, the EMF meters are still reacting. So there's something causing this energy within this lamb house, and the question is, what's causing it? Some people have talked to me about ley lines. Maybe there's some type of mineral under this ground that is causing some type of EMF readings, or maybe something happened that caused this energy to be so high. And I personally believe something happened. A few months ago, veteran paranormal investigator Dave came to the lamb house. One of the things that he noticed about the lamb house was the energy levels. He noticed the energy levels were unusual, and he couldn't explain why the energy levels were so high. As he walks through the house getting energy reading, he experiences paranormal activity. Now, David, would you say this is very unusual?
Very unusual, especially all the way around the house.
Now, that alarm's even going off. Now, this is all through the house.
All through the house.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No. I have it on magnetic now, which I never ever use.
And you're still getting a reading on magnetic?
Still, yeah.
So you can't set it on your normal setting because there's too much energy
No,
in here.
it's pegged out.
And then you heard a voice coming down the steps?
Yeah. I don't know what it said, but I definitely heard something.
Wish I had the recording going when that happened. You guys trying to talk to Dave?
It's stronger at the bottom of the step. It's still high, but right there it's setting the alarm off. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to the garage.
And you're still pegged out.
Yep. It should be down like between 0 and 1. Maybe like 1.5, but not like that.
You put it up to your
Yeah,
electrical and the alarm goes off.
That is weird. It stops at the outlet.
Yeah.
It goes down. It doesn't
Yeah, it
completely
just-
go down,
yeah,
but just a
it
little
does.
bit.
And his EMF, that EMF is still going off, hasn't even stopped.
I'm dying to go upstairs.
Yep, let's go. Let me get these. That's the old refrigerator. It finally gave up the ghost, no pun intended. Just watch your step.
No more sound on the...
Yep. Yep. Whoa!
I heard that.
You heard that?
You didn't hear that? That was a female.
Whoa!
I heard that. I heard that.
You heard that?
You didn't hear that? That was a female. I heard it.
Hello?
I think it said help me.
A lot of energy next to me.
Yeah, it's still very high.
Who said help me?
That's magnetic. Usually that never even moves. It's all the same. I thought maybe this would really never seen it that high anywhere.
Is there some kind of doorway in this house that leads into the spirit realm? I thought I heard a disembodied voice at the same time some truck is driving by outside. Do you feel like this house is vital? Has something to do with the spirit realms? What makes this house so special where you guys feel like you have to keep telling me or telling other spirits in here that this is your house? What's the importance of this house to you? Does it have to do with the afterlife? Hey, you know what? Something feels like it's touching my legs. I don't like that. I had a lot of doubts about using the Ovilus. I bring the Ovilus to the basement. What happens next? I have no doubt one of these spirits didn't like my questions. And I also have no doubt this Ovilus does work. Now, when I go down in the basement to do the Ovilus session, I bring the HD camera with the amplified mic. However, I made some modifications to this mic. I designed this amplified mic in such a way to kind of reduce echoing in the basement, or if I'm outside, to reduce unwanted sounds. It works good. It does capture EVPs, and it does capture the disembodied voices, but unfortunately the way I designed this, it sounds like I'm talking through a cup. And it's important that you understand the equipment that I use during these investigations. Anyway, this is the modified amplified mic that I put together, but it's not good for using during narrations or other type investigations where I do a lot of talking. And here is what happened in the basement. Is there some type of portal or a gateway into the spirit realms in this basement? That device up there is like the other spirit boxes, but it doesn't. Did you tell me to go fuck myself? Did you tell me to go fuck myself? Seriously? Does this mean you're not going to answer my... Does this mean you're not going to answer my... If there is a gateway here, a doorway, a portal, what caused it? What do you mean by the cleansing stopped? What do you mean by this? Who caused this doorway, this portal? This portal. Did somebody do something in this basement or in this house? What? In this house? What? In this house? What? Leave? Is Edmund responsible? Is Edmund responsible? At this point of the investigation, I'm full of disbelief and annoyed. I'm thinking to myself, if this spirit uses the Ovilus one more time to tell me to go F myself, there's no way this is a coincidence. And I have no doubt this is in fact a spirit manipulating the Ovilus to communicate with. Is there anybody buried under this house? You know what? At this point, I'm really annoyed. However, I keep my composure. I pack up the camera and the Ovilus and leave the basement. There's a side of me that's in complete disbelief. I start doing research. I also wonder if it's possible if any other investigators who use an Ovilus captures this type of paranormal activity. Now, there is something that caught my attention. during these investigations is when, during the Ovilus session, that spirit said that demon returned. I do know that there's a good possibility that that was the case, because one night a few months back here we had an incident that took place. Somebody came to the house and it wasn't a very good investigation, and ever since that night the activity kind of changed in this house, where the F word's coming up a lot again, and you know, these spirits keep bringing up demon. I did have these encounters in the basement, and Rose came by the house, and this was interesting. She came by the house to burn some sage and to try to get rid of the negative energy. And this is what happened when Rose came here to the house. This is an older clip, but I want to show you guys this again. Approximately 2 years ago, a number of people advised me to get somebody into this house to sage the house, to do a cleansing. Rose, who has a lot of experience in doing cleansings, came to the house, specifically to the basement. However, something strange happens, something she's never seen before.
Well, so far.
Alright, so Rose is going down the steps in the basement. She's going to try to rid of the bad that's down there.
First of all, I'm going to say, I know you don't want me here, because I can feel it. Any of the good spirits that are down here, you are welcome to stay. We are here to help rid this house of any negativity, of any evil, and I can feel it. I feel it right here. It's like strong right here. I have, this is called white sage, and I am going to be lighting it right now.
Do you want me to get your phone?
Did I just hear something else? I have 3 more sticks of this, so I am going to smudge this area, especially this area here. I feel it. Whatever you are that's down here, you need to leave this house.
Not long after Rose said this, something strange happened with her sage stick. The sage stick would stop burning. This happened repeatedly. In the basement.
Is that what you said?
On the spirit box. Yeah, I got the spirit box going upstairs with the recorder.
See how it's going out? Yeah, it doesn't usually do this.
Doesn't usually go out.
Oh no, usually it plumes right up, and the more it goes out and plumes out, the more positive energy's coming in. It's getting rid of the negative. See, like right here, as I'm doing this, it's doing pretty good. Trying to get off in this section here. Whoa.
We
There
had
it goes
one.
again. There it goes again, and
Went
it was just in flames. I have never seen this happen. Ever.
Every person that ever comes into this house always makes that statement. I've never seen this happen ever.
This is the first time I've ever, gone to clear, and I just heard something, and it's not happy.
Yeah.
Not happy at all.
Now, have you ever seen sage ever act like this before?
No.
This
I
first
use
time?
it, we use it, weekly or every, we cleanse and we use it, and I've never seen it.
What do you think it caused it to act like this? Why did it do that, do you think?
I really...
No explanation, because you've never seen it do that before.
No, I've never seen this happen before. Having to keep lighting it over and over, and then I lit it at one point and it just went right up, and I said, okay, good, but this blows my mind. I've never, as this started to get stronger, and the smoke was coming out thicker, it was getting colder and colder and colder, and I could see my breath more and more.
Now, things got so bad in this house. One night I did go into the basement, and based on my personal beliefs, which I don't really get into often in these videos, but I went down there and confronted this spirit and rebuked it myself. And after I rebuked this, never had really big problems in this house after that. I've had issues other places outside of this house, but for the most part, after my rebuke session in the basement, the house seemed pretty quiet as far as being called the F word. And there's a lot of times that these spirits wouldn't warn me about demons. This is the clip from the night I went down to the basement and pretty much rebuked whatever was down there. Here I'm in the basement confronting these negative spirits. Every investigation I'd do, I'd be called the F word, and there's threats of killing me. I confront these negative spirits my way and demand that they leave this house. Is there something evil that stays in this basement? I'm not going to put up with any more of this evil stuff in this house. You guys need to go. You don't call me the F word. You don't call me names. You leave my family alone. And I think you've deceived so many people, and you've committed murders and collected your little trophy souls. Didn't you? Now go away and don't come back. And if there's any other evil around here, you need to leave, and you need to leave now. You were already defeated at Calvary. Now get out. Normally, I don't get aggressive like this. You know what, people, you need to understand, these spirits don't have power over you. And you can't let them control you, your emotions, your feelings. Is the evil spirit gone? Purged? Purged? Now, obviously, there seems to be an issue once again. Now, you can imagine that there are a lot of entities out there around the world, and you're not always dealing with just one entity. There can be multiple. Now, I don't believe that that particular spirit came back. However, seems like another one came in, and I'm going to have to deal with that. I have no doubt what took place in the basement with the Ovilus. An angry spirit controlled this device in order to communicate. When using the PSB-7 spirit box, many times spirits said my name, then told me to leave. The encounters at the Lamb House doesn't shock me. I have been through enough encounters with spirits in this house. It's become second nature. What was surprising with this particular encounter was the way these spirits were able to use this device. After doing extensive research into the numerous models of the Ovilus spirit box, I learned what took place in the basement was not possible unless an actual spirit had control of this device. I have David on the phone with me. He's a veteran paranormal investigator. He's also been out to the house. And David, you sent me this Ovilus. Can you tell me a little bit about this Ovilus?
All right, I got that Ovilus probably 2004, 2004, 2006. Tried it, never had really good luck with it. Been watching your videos, been helping you with the audio and stuff, and I said, you know what, I'm not using it. See if you have any luck with it, so I sent it to you.
Okay, so when you got that, when you bought that directly from the factory, you never put any words into it or programmed it?
No.
Okay. Now, this particular Ovilus, I mean, this thing's a dinosaur, and it seems like you'd have to have an older computer to even program this at this time, because the technology's changed quite a bit, And it looks like that the connection cords that hook up to this Ovilus, I wouldn't even know where to get one of those, but it takes one of the older type connection cords, even if you were going to download more words into the dictionary.
Yeah, I believe when I bought that, it didn't even come with the cord. I just got the box itself with directions.
Okay, so that was factory programmed in the dictionary words, and I got a copy of that, and that's interesting because there's words that's being spoken through this Ovilus that's not even in the dictionary list of words.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like Kent, the name Kent. And I looked up the dictionary. There is no Kent. So I thought, well, maybe it said Kent, C-A-N''T, and there's no Kent program into it. It's cannot. Now, sentences. This Ovilus cannot be programmed to speak intelligent sentences.
I believe it's just words.
Exactly. Even the high-tech new Ovilus that they have out, it's just words in the dictionary.
Correct. Yep.
Wow. So, other words, when I'm using this Ovilus, and if it says a full intelligent sentence, there's no doubt that's a spirit.
Absolutely. I believe it was made just to say words, random words, not sentences. And for it to even just say your name, Kent, that's not even in the dictionary, it just blows my mind. Yeah, it's crazy, Kent. What you get for evidence is just mind-blowing.
During this Ovilus session, I could hear and feel the intelligence behind a spirit communicating. You could feel this intelligence by the words and the tone these spirits used. One spirit verbally attacked me, the other spirit warned me. The spirit who warned me, you can feel the desperation in its tone. The way he said, "Can't leave. Demon return."
Did somebody do something in this basement or in this house? What? In this house? What? In this house? What? That device up there is like the other spirit boxes, but it doesn't make that. Does this mean you're not going to answer my... Is Edmund responsible?
I'm going to do another test. I use the Ovilus in my bedroom to confirm these spirits can in fact use this device to communicate. I will ask questions I know the answers to, and other questions and hope to find answers. What happens during this session confirmed, with absolutely no doubt, these spirits can use this device in order to communicate. Hello? Run? What do I need to run from? What's in the basement? What kind of spirit is that? Did you say demons in the basement? What am I sitting in? Chair. How many spirits are in this room right now around this bed? 7. What can you tell me about Abby? Cute. Cute? Where Abby go? Is Abby gone now, little Abby?
Mommy. 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 Loving friend. Loving friend.
Abby was a loving friend. Who was she friends with?
Your.
Is there a portal in this house, in this basement? Or portals throughout this house? A gateway? Are you able to answer that for me, please?
Outside, Veronica. Outside, Veronica. Veronica. Fact.
Outside what? Did you say outside pyramid? I find it interesting the word pyramid came up from this Ovilus. Pyramid is not a word programmed in this particular model. What's baffling, for the past 3 weeks, I've been doing an in-depth study into the Egyptian pyramids and the mythology behind the Egyptian beliefs. The Egyptians mathematically designed the pyramid in order to harvest energy. Such energy would open a gateway into the realms of the afterlife, a spiritual gateway. In the video Revelations by Ghosts, I talked about this triangle design in the village of Carmel. The founding fathers of Carmel were in fact Freemasons. The Freemasons used a pyramid as a symbol. To the Masons, the Egyptian pyramid was a mathematically design of perfection based on geometry, something the Freemasons highly regard as a symbol. The village of Carmel triangle design is based on the exact mathematical geometry formulas as the Egyptian pyramids, with such numbers as 9, 6, and 3. I will have to go into this in-depth study at a later date. However, I don't believe the triangle design in the village of Carmel was an accident. Were the same mathematical formulas in the design of the Egyptian pyramids and the village of Carmel triangle designed to harvest energy in order to open a gateway into the afterlife, into the spirit realms? Before you disregard this possibility, I would highly recommend you do your own research. There's obviously something that caused this high EMF energy readings here at the Lamb House. Did you guys build this triangle here on purpose? Was this purposely designed to be a portal? Did they design this to be a portal? Is that what you guys have been trying to tell me? Did they think if they designed it this way and they went into the spirit realm, they had a way to come back? Is that what they believed? It fell, didn't it? It didn't work, did it? All it did was open up a doorway, but you couldn't come back, could you? And now you're stuck. Is that what happened? Yeah? What can you tell me about Edmund Lamb?
Sis. Person.
Did you say sick person? How is he a sick person? What makes him a sick person?
Slay. Female. Slay. Female.
Did something happen to Rachel in this house? How did she die?
Shot. Shot.
Where did this happen at?
Reason. Property. Reason. Property.
What state did Rachel die in?
Maine. 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 Maine.
If you notice in this video, I started holding my head a funny way. While doing this investigation, I suddenly had a headache that hit me right between the eyes. I'm going to do a test. I step outside the bedroom door and just stand there with the door closed. I'm curious what will happen once I'm out of the room. Will these spirits respond regardless like they do on the spirit box? I'm back.
Where is
What?
light?
Fight? Or do you want me to fight?
I
Fight who? Is there something I need to fight?
Jim.
Jen?
Round.
Why does this bed have activity in it as far as it seems like there's a spirit? What's going on with that? Did somebody die in this bed? was the person's name that died in this bed?
Karen. Karen.
One strange event that happened recently here in this bedroom. I heard walking noises on the bedroom floor. I was sleeping with my back towards my wife and my face facing the closet. And when I heard the walking noise, I felt the bed bump. And then I felt my wife get back in bed. I assumed that she went to the bathroom, and when she was walking in the room and bumped the bed, she woke me up. Now, when I wake up in the night, I'm fully awake and alert. And I felt her get into the bed, and I was listening to what was on the TV set at the time, and I'm just sitting there listening to it. And I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden I heard some strange breathing sounds, and it was going like that, like somebody was having problems breathing. And I thought maybe my wife was on her phone looking at something, and I didn't know if she was laughing quietly or if she was sighing repeatedly. But then I felt the bed kind of jerk with each of the sounds that went, the bed would jerk. So I assumed it was my wife kind of giggling at something. So I just laid there, but it kept going on and on and on and on. And I'm thinking, well, what if there's something wrong with my wife? I mean, is she okay? And during this time, the bed just literally kept going, and the bed would shake with each. So I sat up and I turned around to look to see if my wife was okay or what she was doing. My wife wasn't even in the bed. It turned out that night I was snoring so loud that my wife was actually asleep downstairs on the couch. Now, I sat up in bed really fast and I was like, okay, you know what? This really creeped me out. And I actually got up out of the bed and I went and sat out on the front porch for at least 30 minutes quietly, and my wife was sound asleep on the couch. But I had no doubt in my mind that this was definitely paranormal related. You would have to be there to understand what it's like and how real this is when you hear these types of sounds and the bed jerks. Now, throughout all the years we've lived here in this house, this bedroom has definitely had some strange activity. Even strange things were happening even before I believed in the paranormal. I just didn't connect the events to paranormal activity because I didn't believe in paranormal activity. I didn't record the incident that night. However, there's been some other incidents that took place in this bedroom that I have grabbed the recorder and started recording. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, this incident happened again, where the bed was shaking, but this time I heard strange whisper sounds. This time I did grab the recorder. That will be the last one on this clip that I'm getting ready to show you now. These are clips of some of the activity that's taken place in this bedroom that woke me up in the night. And one of the clips is about when we're laying in bed watching TV at night, we can hear the disembodied voices. And I recorded that one night. Here's some clips of some of the stuff that's happened in this bedroom at night. Approximately 2 years ago, around 2:30 a.m., strange moaning sounds woke me up. I grabbed my cell phone and hit record. This moaning sound went on all night. I had to restart the DVD player and turn the fan up on high. Well, the night before last, there was multiple voices that woke me up while I was sleeping. And multiple sounds. So, last night, I decided, for the first time, I'm going to set up a camera inside that closet. Around 3 a.m., the bed shook again, and I heard strange whispering sounds and breathing. I looked at my wife to make sure this wasn't my wife. She was sound asleep. Now, this bed here in our bedroom, we bought from an estate. My wife worked at the mini mart, and the owner back then, Tracy, her brother passed away, and my wife and I were just getting ready to move here into the Lamb House, and this was back in 2014. And Tracy took us to her brother's house about a month after he passed away. We were going to buy some of the furniture and doodads from the estate, because when we were moving here in the Lamb House, we didn't have any furniture, dishes, or anything, because we stayed in an RV for 2 years saving up money. Well, Tracy's sister-in-law died sometime before her brother died. After the breathing incident and the bed shaking, when I turned around, my wife wasn't even in the bed. I called up Tracy and I talked to Tracy. And I said, Tracy, the bed that we have, that we bought from you, that's in our bedroom, is that the bed that your sister-in-law died in? And Tracy did confirm, yes, that is the bed she died in at home. So this bed, a female did die in this bed. And from my understanding, it was from cancer. She was terminal. Why is this person's spirit here with this bed? What's going on with that?
Giraffe.
going to ask these spirits if there's anything they wanted to say before I shut off the Ovilus. It seemed like there was a last-minute effort for these spirits to say what they had to say, knowing I was going to shut off the Ovilus. Anything you want to say before I shut this off?
Lie. Heard. Enter. Hours.
Okay,
Light.
that sounds creepy.
Attic. 12. Sing. Correct. Melly house. And honey. Indirect. February. Nothing. Track. Solder. Rose. Coin. Shepherd. Stomach. Noun. Order. Large. Happiness. Horrible. Cord. Up. Opening. Adam. E. Bill. Mostly. Non. Shift. Adam. E. Bill. Mostly. Non. Shift. Include. Keep. Empath. Nourish. Mistress. Suffix. Glove. Herd. Phemeton. Sear. Traffic. Cement. Turn. City. Or. Tag. Projection. Which. Yolary. Happen. Top. Wheels. Can. Lend. Feet. Mouth. Atom. Mist.
Wow.
Seal. Sample.
I'm not sure what you just said, but I'll analyze this.
Bull.
This is
Lower. And.
This has never done this before. It's like I was getting ready to shut this off, and all of a sudden, all these words are coming out like something's trying to tell me something here. Did you know I was going to shut this off and you wanted to talk real quick?
Noise. Indian. Spirits. Noise. Indian. Spirits. Earthen.
I do know without a doubt these spirits intelligently responded to my questions during this Ovilus session. This experience was pretty mind-boggling. An Ovilus does work. However, I'm not sure what to think about the end of this session. Were these just random words coming through the Ovilus? Or were their spirits desperate to say what they had to say before I shut this off? I do know within those words there were intelligent statements. The Ovilus is designed to say one word at a time. It is not designed to say a full sentence. And for this Ovilus to say intelligent sentences, this is completely mind-blowing. Well, I'm going to have to analyze that. I was getting ready to shut this off, and just all of a sudden, just all these words started coming out. That's never happened before.
Why do you stay at this house? What's so special about this house?
Whether it's through a disembodied voice, an EVP, all right, I just heard a voice, Joshua. Through the spirit box.
Hello, my name is Nathan.
He said it. While you're on your phone. Voices in the night. Or through the Ovilus.
But it doesn't
Human. What? Yourself.
the spirits at the Lamb House will find a way to communicate with the living. Is it possible the energy in this house caused a gateway to open into the spirit realms? Is there a powerful vortex in this house that causes powerful paranormal encounters? There are times while working on these videos, I am interrupted by these spirits. I have to stop filming and wait for things to calm down. Such was the case when I was trying to do a narration in the bedroom. I was interrupted by a spirit. I had to wait for things to calm down before I could do the narration. If this is the case, redo. I'm not here to prove to the world paranormal activity is real. Whether you believe this is real or fake, that's entirely up to you. Through non-stop multiple encounters, these spirits prove to me just how real they are. I only show the results of these encounters and let viewers decide. When I hear people say ghosts, spirits, paranormal activity doesn't exist, I fully understand their feelings when they say this. I too thought the same way until these spirits of the Lamb House showed me just how real they are. In my opinion, these encounters are so amazing, I have to share these encounters with others.